Occupational Therapy class of 2024. Our class would like to thank you all for being here today. I am here to introduce our keynote speakers, Jonathan Gardner, who's an accomplished self-advocate at both the state and national level, with his mother, Nancy Gardner, here in support. And Maura Salem, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the ARC of Massachusetts. We are going to let Jonathan introduce himself and tell you about his incredible journey.
What she said with it, so I'm confused.
Okay, I'm jumping in first. Okay. I want to do a little more introduction to you, Jonathan. But good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for having us. It's really a pleasure to be here in a room full of passionate learners and educators and healthcare professionals and lawyers. And I want to thank the OT students for putting together this extraordinary day ahead of us. I'm here because I'm an advocate, and I've spent the last decade on Beacon Hill trying to improve services and supports for people with autism and intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. And I'm so lucky to do this work and to have this platform to amplify the voice of my community. And I've also been incredibly lucky to be able to pursue my personal passion, which was to train healthcare professionals and medical students on providing better inclusive healthcare to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and autism. And actually I have Jonathan alongside of me doing that work. The program is called Operation House Call, and it works because we teach through our lived experience. I'm a parent of 2 children with autism and intellectual disabilities, and this has definitely been a personal journey for me. The program has been very successful. We've actually reached several thousand medical students through our curriculum, which involves classroom learning and in-home experiential learning. And this year, we actually passed a bill to codify the program into law here in Massachusetts. So we're very proud of that. And Jonathan was a huge part of that, and he'll tell you a little bit more about it. But again, it was important to me because of my sons and our journey. And one of my sons in particular not only has autism and intellectual disability, but he is non-speaking, and he has several co-occurring medical conditions, epilepsy, and some painful GI conditions. He can't tell me when he's in pain, and he can't tell me where he has pain. Sometimes it leads to self-injurious behavior. Sometimes it leads to dangerous behaviors. And sometimes it brings me to my knees because I can't help him enough. And that's when I need you all, when we need our community that brings support and brings hope and doesn't leave us feeling alone. So thank you. And Neil doesn't allow me to feel down for too long. He actually honestly brings me the best days of my life. And don't tell my other kids that. And so there's one thing I don't think I can explain, and that is how proud I am to be his mom. And speaking of proud, it's such an honor to know Jonathan Gardner and his family and to work alongside him daily. We just got back from DC, and I was so impressed with how he was able to advocate on Capitol Hill, shift to Beacon Hill, shift to the medical schools. He's made a huge impact on our medical students here at every medical school in Massachusetts. He's taught them through his own lived experience and journey. And he's also led a coalition of self-advocates, people with disabilities, professionals, and parents to pass a bill called supported decision making. And this is a huge policy priority for the ARC. It's an alternative to guardianship for people who don't need full guardianship. My sons need full guardianship, but there are so many folks who can make their own decisions with supports from trusted individuals. Jonathan has been indefatigable on this legislation, and I expect that we will pass it together. So thank you for your work there. And I just want to, before I bring him up, I just want to thank you all for the tremendous good work that you're doing and that you will continue to do. As a parent, I need you. I need your perspectives, and I ask you to also become advocates. Become advocates for the people who can't be at the table, who need your voice to represent them. And for parents like me who are not going to live forever, although that's my plan. So thank you again, and I want to bring up Jonathan now.
Fantastic as always, Juan. I gotta sit up sometime. Good morning. I'm the one they've been calling Jonathan Gondison. Don't let the clock spot fool you. I am 21. I stand before you today as a decision maker, self-advocate, homeschool graduate, Flutie Fellow for the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism, a board member of Mass Advocates for Children, the co-chair of Massachusetts Support Decision Making Coalition, an ambassador for Operation House Call for the Arc of Mass, and a cancer survivor who happens to have autism. It is an honor to share my journey with you. I'm just going to take this out. I'm the type of guy that has learned from an early age how to turn a traumatic experience into a positive difference. When my mom was pregnant with me, she was told by the doctor there was no heartbeat, and she was scheduled for an DNC. She listened to a whisper from within, a gut feeling that something wasn't right. Trusting her instincts, she sought out a second opinion from a midwife, who discovered a faint heartbeat, described as strict bed rest. Well, guess what? I was born on November 24th, 2002. This was the very first time in my life that an inner voice led us towards hope and new beginnings. Literally and figuratively. It's a long one, I gotta go somehow. From an early age, I faced challenges. Severe colic. My pediatrician actually told my mom I was the most colic baby she has ever seen, and allergies to relentless separation anxiety. My early journey was anything but easy, mostly for my mom and dad, because I don't remember that college. But the part I do remember is the sense of security and comfort from my mom and dad. When my mom would hold me close in the baby carrier, her heartbeat was very soothing to my nervous system. My bond with my mom was already very strong. I began early intervention services by the age of 1 years old, which helped me and my family begin to navigate the world around me. Early intervention services providers were the ones to lead my parents to get me tested by a developmental pediatrician, which diagnosed me with autism. Early intervention would visit our home 5 days a week and really give my parents a lot of help. I did not separate from my mom when they would come to see me, but the early intervention providers made my comfort and progress a priority. Early intervention played a vital role in the supports in my life. At the age of 2, I was enrolled in the Children's Physical Developmental Clinic. Every Saturday morning was filled with excitement as I learned to dive into swimming lessons, sport activities which helped with my balance and communication. The clinic not only focused on my physical health, not my physical health, my physical ability, but also nurtured lifelong relationships with collisions that fostered my self-confidence. Sorry, the last reflex. Equally impactful was the speech and language clinic at a local college in my community, where I learned not only to articulate my thoughts, but also found a safe place to learn where I truly began. These programs helped me to be the person I am today, instilling in me the tools for communication skills, physical abilities, and emotional resilience. At the age of 3, I began my educational journey. Preschool through first grade were marked by collaboration and support, where my team and my mom worked together towards my academic goal and personal growth. Despite the occasional disagreement, a shared commitment to my well-being fostered a positive learning environment. However, things drastically changed in the second grade. The sports outlined in my individual educational program, aka an IEP, were discarded, leading to me becoming self-interest. Despite my mom's advocacy, the situation at school did not stop. I was bullied by other students for simply wearing Sesame Street shirts. And the classroom teacher found it funny to flip my hat off my head, even though it was an accommodation for my IEP. Because it made my head feel better to have it on at the time. Long story short, I became more and more self-interested and tried to jump out the classroom window. I was placed in and out of district school, and we were all hopeful, but it was short-lived. Once again, my IEP accommodations were ignored, and I endured further mistreatment from a classroom teacher. My mom walked in and discovered I was being punished by a teacher, which led to my departure from the public school system. My mom in particular became my rock. She was not just a parent, she was my safe haven, my teacher and my advocate. She understood that I needed to learn at my own pace, that my struggles didn't mean I was lazy or unwilling to learn, but rather that I needed supports tailored to my needs. Trying to figure out our options, we contacted the Disability Law Center, where we discovered we were 2 days short of our statutes of limitation to sue the school. We didn't dwell on what could have been. Instead, we found a new purpose: advocacy. We joined forces with the Disability Law Center to push for change, to ensure that no child would endure what I did. It took years, but we succeeded in passing the Massachusetts Restraints and Seclusion Law, because I believe every child should feel safe, confident, and welcome to learn. I ended up with the very best teacher one could ever ask for: my mother. You're welcome, Dad. My mom allowed me to be the guide of my own education. Together, we learned from my interests, using them as a compass to navigate my education. At the age of 13, I started thinking about a vision for myself, and it still is to help others in any way I can. I began to fulfill my vision by volunteering at soup kitchens under the guidance of my mentor. Then my therapist asked me to be a mentor to a young student struggling with school refusal at our district's middle school. This experience was so fulfilling to me. Building on this, I transitioned to the position of a skills trainer at the Arc of Greater Boston, where I provided support to 2 young individuals with autism, or that happen to have autism, whatever you prefer. Then, 2021, my life took an unexpected turn when I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called uterine syndrome. The journey to get my diagnosis took almost 5 months because of lots of diagnostic overshadow. Too many doctors were focused on the fact that I was autistic or a person in pain. One of them even told me to bring me to a psychiatrist. It was not until I found a doctor that looked me right in the eyes and told me, I don't know what's wrong with you, but no one find out. It took a total of 3 MRIs because the technicians thought my autism was why I could not lie still, when it was actually a tumor on my spine that made it so painful. I finally got sedated, and that is when I found out that I had uterine syndrome. On April 19, 2021, I began chemotherapy. My medical team became a source of comfort and companionship. Their genuine care and understanding not only eased my physical pain, but also nurtured my spirit. They took the time to get to know me as a human being, and they have become like family to me now. Halfway through my chemotherapy and 31 days in a row of radiation, I reached a breaking point. Confided in my mother, telling her I wanted to stop my treatments even if I died. My mom had to take time to process all this herself, and when she did, she came back and said, I don't know the answer, but if you can put your faith in me, I will find out. With my mom contacting my medical team, came up with a few options that address not only physical health, but also my mental well-being. It was at this point that I realized support decision-making saved my life. I was already using support decision-making in my life before my cancer, but it was not until I was sick that I realized how important support decision-making is to people with disabilities and the elderly. Support decision-making is an alternative to knowledge. The person being physically people may trust to help them make decisions. Support decision-making gives me the freedom to make my own choices with supports when I ask for it. Support decision-making allows me to stay in control of my own life. Support decision-making does not replace knowledge. It is an alternative that is a less restrictive option. It gives people another choice. I was asked to testify for support decision-making when I was sick, and this gave me a sense of purpose. It was at a moment that I realized my voice was being respected and heard. This was so motivating to me, brought me so much joy and hope. It is one of my life's path that's led me to an unexpected opportunities and invaluable connections. It was through my advocacy for support decision-making that I crossed paths with my favorite boss, friend, and support person, also. But guidance and commitment to educating medical students and others, individuals with autism, individuals with developmental disabilities has reinforced my mission and also inspired me to strive for a healthcare system where everyone receives care they deserve to live their best lives. As a proud ambassador of Operation House Call, I get to share my own experiences before, during, and after my cancer diagnosis. I've had the privilege to share strategies, mentor, and support our co-teachers. Serving as an ambassador has not only increased my confidence in teaching, but also has helped me to foster connections and uplift the confidence of my colleagues, ensuring that everyone receives the support and the health care they need. asked to testify for Operation House Call alongside fellow advocates was a huge one. Being part of Operation House Calls team strengthens my belief that advocacy can be transformed into, adversity, my apologies, people, can be transformed into a positive change. Advocacy has become one of my callings. Just a few weeks ago, I had the privilege to speak on Capitol Hill about the Autism Care Act and the Educational Bill. I had a deep sense of gratitude for each day and a desire to pay forward the unwavering support of my family. My plans for the future are simple: to embrace each day with positivity, find joy, and continue to making a difference in others' lives. Don't clap yet, just don't know. In closing, let us remember that life's challenges and triumphs shape us into who we are meant to be. Every challenge has an opportunity for growth, and within every setback, there is an opportunity for resilience. And it is not about what happens to us, but how we respond to situations. As human beings, our differences enrich each other. Our voices together can be powerful and significant. We should all strive to create a world where everyone's voice is heard and every life is valued. Thank you.